The plastic bag conundrum. Countries around the world are grappling with the effects of climate change for a long time. Changes in weather patterns that bring about higher temperatures, increased droughts, and more intense flooding are just the tip of the iceberg. Singapore is not spared from the effects of climate change. According to the National Climate Change Secretariat, the country's mean annual temperature and sea level in the Straits of Singapore have reportedly increased over the years. As a small city-state, Singapore can and should play an active role in combating climate change. Though we may not see tangible results, especially in the foreseeable future, every effort counts. When fossil fuels are burnt to produce energy for the manufacture of plastic products, greenhouse gases are emitted. This leads to global warming. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, states that more than 400 million tonnes of plastic are produced every year, out of which around 14 million tonnes enter the ocean. A study by the Singapore Environment Council in 2018 had found that 820 million disposable carrier bags were taken from supermarkets alone in a year. Under the right conditions, plastic breaks down into microplastics and nanoplastics which marine life may ingest unintentionally, resulting in their death. Furthermore, this is a health hazard once humans consume seafood and drinks, as these plastics enter our food chain. A study by the Worldwide Fund for Nature, or WWF, suggests that we could be ingesting an average of 5 grams of plastic every week, or around 250 grams per year. Without expounding on the process, the production and consumption of plastic bags will cause irreversible detrimental damage to the environment. Now, it seems only logical that plastic bags should be banned. No? Should we ban single-use plastics? Compared to many developed countries or even developing countries, Singapore is in fact rather late to implement the plastic bag levy. In Ireland, the plastic bag levy was introduced as early as March 2002. Other countries which have a similar plastic bag charge include Malaysia, South Korea, Japan, and Thailand. On the extreme end of the spectrum, some countries such as Rwanda and Kenya have imposed a complete ban on plastic bags. It has been reported that countries which have imposed the plastic bag ban or levy have seen a sharp reduction in the number of plastic bags given out at supermarkets. For example, Japan has reported an 80% decline, while there was a reduction of around 70 to 95% in the United Kingdom. Nonetheless, are the current policies, in particular the plastic bag levy, effective and pragmatic? Let us break it down into several segments. Single-use plastics versus multi-use, reusable plastics. Single-use plastics have no reusability and they are disposed after just one use. Some examples include straws, food packaging, cutlery, and grocery bags. We will explore the last example in greater detail later. Water bottles and fruit containers are two instances of reusable plastics. In Ireland and the United Kingdom, McDonald's has replaced its plastic straws with paper ones at its restaurants. Since December 2021, McDonald's Singapore has introduced strawless lids for all cold cup beverages in a bid to reduce single-use plastics. Other companies such as Disney and Starbucks have also taken similar actions to reduce the usage of single-use plastics. The truth about sustainability. Are reusable alternatives always more environmentally friendly than single-use plastic products? It really depends, but the short answer is no. In reality, reusables may be more environmentally harmful. Let us take a look at McDonald's paper straws. McDonald's has stated that the thickness of the new paper straws rendered them not recyclable, even though the materials used are recyclable. Thinner paper straws were originally used, but customers complained that they disintegrated easily, and it was not easy to drink thicker liquids such as milkshakes. There was no such issue with the previous plastic straws, and yes, they were recyclable. Misconception about reusable bags. Many of us are under the impression that reusable bags are a greener alternative compared to plastic bags. In fact, reusable bags have a much higher carbon footprint than plastic bags, as the production of these bags require a large amount of resources and energy. The number of times a reusable bag is used directly influences its environmental impact. According to a 2018 life cycle assessment report by a Danish environmental protection agency, a cotton bag should be used at least 7,100 times to offset its environment impact when compared to a typical supermarket plastic bag. If it is an organic cotton bag, it has to be reused a whopping 20,000 times. That is every day for 55 years. Another study by the United Nations Environment Programme found that a high-quality polypropylene (PP) bag must be used for an estimated 10 to 20 times to have the same climate impact as a single-use plastic bag. Other reusable products. A 2021 study comparing the environmental impacts of reusable versus single-use kitchenware discovered that some reusable alternatives never managed to reach break-even point because of the energy and water used each time a reusable item is washed. What is this break-even point? It is simply defined as the number of times a product must be reused before its environmental impacts per use equal those of a comparable single-use plastic product. For example, reusable bamboo drinking straws never reached the break-even point in any of the 3 environmental impact categories assessed in the study: energy use, global warming potential, and water consumption. Paper bags need to be reused anywhere between 3 to 43 times to offset their environmental impact to equal plastic bags because of the paper pulp used in the production process. Moreover, the application of fertilizers and various chemicals in tree farming and paper production significantly accelerates the occurrence of acid rain and eutrophication in water bodies. It is most unlikely that a person would reuse them numerous times, as paper bags are the least durable out of all bagging options. Also, as paper is made from trees, the increased production of paper bags leads to increased deforestation. In short, reusable products need to be not only durable, but consumers need to reuse them many times. Plastic bag charge. Since 3rd July this year, supermarket operators which have an annual turnover exceeding 100 million must impose a minimum fee of 5 cents for every disposable plastic bag distributed to customers. The proceeds from the plastic bags will be used towards environmental and social causes. This is all well and good for supermarkets if it is duly enforced. But what about other stores which impose the plastic bag charge? An increasing number of heartland stores are charging consumers for plastic bags as well. A renowned restaurant in Suntec City even charges a fee for takeaway carrier bags. How does the restaurant expect patrons to carry the food boxes back then? Absolutely absurd. On a similar note, a large supermarket chain charges customers for plastic bags for the purchase of several durians. Mind you, these are with husks. Evidently, customers are forced to purchase these plastic bags, as there are no feasible alternatives to carry the durians back. Many merchants are clearly profiteering in the name of going green. Takeaway fee at coffee shops and hawker stalls were practically unheard of pre-COVID. Now, consider yourself fortunate if you are not charged a fee for takeaway food. Alternative ways to bag rubbish. This begs the key question that has somehow been rarely discussed. How does one bag rubbish if plastic bags are banned? A Reuters article in 2018 reported that Dr. Amy Corr, then Senior Minister of State for the Environment and Water Resources and present Senior Minister of State for Sustainability and the Environment, mentioned that plastic bags were necessary for responsible and hygienic bagging of waste in Singapore's hot and humid climate. In Singapore, there is a lack of industrial composting infrastructure designed to decompose plastics. As a result, plastic waste is typically incinerated before being deposited in landfills. According to Dr. Amy Corr, Singapore does not face the land and water pollution issues that affect countries which had implemented the compulsory plastic bag charges. Most of us use plastic bags at least twice, or sometimes even more, once to contain the items you have purchased and the other to bag rubbish. Earlier this year, Dr. Amy Corr suggested in a CNA article that toilet roll bags and rice bags can be repurposed to bag rubbish. Let's be realistic. Which household consumes 1 bag of rice or 1 pack of toilet rolls every single day? In a public consultation paper published by the National Environment Agency, NEA, on REACH's portal, formerly known as the Feedback Unit, it stated that residents should continue with the responsible practice of bagging waste before disposal. Research has shown that using other methods to bag rubbish such as newspapers are impractical and not viable for obvious reasons. A potential foreseeable problem that could occur would be rubbish being thrown directly into the rubbish chute, attracting more pests and likely making the job more difficult for the waste disposal personnel. Responsible bagging of waste entails the use of plastic bags, at least for now. Until a more pragmatic and feasible alternative for bagging rubbish is found, the policy of charging for plastic bags is simply transferring the cost to consumers. Undeniably, this acts as a deterrence against plastic bag wastage to some extent. However, it penalises those who have been prudently reusing and recycling plastic bags all this while. It is not as if the supermarket cashiers have been handing out excess plastic bags to consumers every time. Clearly, reusing any bag, regardless of material, as many times as you can and disposing it responsibly reduces its impact on the environment. While the plastic bag charge or ban can be good for the environment, the policies need to be carefully considered to ensure its effectiveness.